Hey, we're late. I know. I said I would do another live stream at 6 o'clock, and we'd talk about it would be an unboxing from Tacklewarehouse, but UPS has let me down once again. They said it would arrive by 7, and it is just after 7, and no sign of UPS or my order. But I have been busy, and I've been messing with the stuff we got earlier. If you haven't watched that video, you can go watch me unboxing this stuff, but I've come to the conclusion I think I like the darker, that more gunmetal smoked color. But anyway, got a lot of stuff. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about these knobs. But just to show you the difference in... So this is one I took out of the package in the first video, and it's basically I took the knobs off and put them on the Gomexus handle, and I did the Gomexus knobs on that one. But I wanted to show you, and I don't know if it'll come through on the camera, but that handle just looks better. It's like a matte finish, almost like a, I call it like, has that like satiny look to it, and this one's just a regular, that like cheap black anodized. So this one just like, because I didn't have it out of the package yet, and during the first video, so I took the knobs off and I pulled this, and I'm like, man, that thing just looks good. It looks like way better than this one did. After getting it, and it's just a slight subtle differences in the color of the paint for one, and I like this darker color. But more about these, and I forgot I was going to look them up, but I want to say they were under $10 for the handle. Crazy too long for me. And I want to say they were, no, that starts with an R. I don't remember now. But they are, there's bushings in here. But as you can see, they are the same, they're not Gomexus, but they're the same assembly as what it takes. They'll, will interchange, and the Gomexus can technically interchange. And I may show you that here in the video here coming up. So anyway, this is coming up. Where do I want to put this? What I want to put it on? What I want to do? What I want to do? I think I think I am going to trim it down. If you see there's the knobs. After I did a little kind of like reshaping, I don't like that ball look, and so when you change it to like that, it just feels better. And then these knobs already sort of come like that. They do have these cutouts. I'm still not sure. I mean, it feels good. I'll show you here in a second. So I put, oh boy, look out. So I put them on this D's because this is the one that originally had, this is the real, I think. No, this isn't the real. This is the handle assembly I originally had on when I had the Poison Adrena. So if you remember right, I went through all that trouble and decked out the one for the Poison Adrena, and we did it in this. And now I'm thinking I may want to do away with the camo. I haven't decided yet. I may leave it alone, put this on something else, and just try it. So a little bit longer, but look at the distance on what you're going to be. They really don't stick out that much further. It looks like when you just look at them, you're like, wow, those are huge compared to those. But they'd only stick out a little more than what those do, which are more than the standard ones. But when you're grabbing it, I don't know, it just feels pretty good. You guys let me know what you think in the comments as more of you. Oh, and don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the like button, all that kind of stuff. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell Brew Tank that I'm doing a live stream, so he'll know. He's always the last to know. And he supposedly has the bell and all that stuff hit, but he always wonders how he misses these. So anyway, I put this on. I originally stuck this star on, and that is way too much with that. As bright as those are, that's just way too bright for this reel. The plan is I probably put this handle assembly. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. I did go ahead and order. I've got the new Tatula coming through AliExpress. So I ordered the Tatula, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't have this kind of a drag. So I ordered the little piece with the spring that now is easily found on AliExpress, thank goodness. Knowing I had this star, now I need to re-sand and buff and polish it. It looks nasty, but it's a very shiny. They actually do darken up a little bit as you polish them. If you just like were to deanodize this and leave it alone, it's almost white. It's like an acid wash kind of thing. But anyway, so I got that part coming. I got a drag clicker coming for it. I got the reel coming, and I'm going to put this on it. And my thoughts are maybe I'll put this handle assembly on it. And I think that I do have a set of cork knobs coming for another one I could cut down. But so I think I will be, these are only $10. You can still get these on AliExpress, gold, red, like you just saw this one, red. And I know they may not look quite like the ZPI ones, but they're $10 instead of like 80 or 100 or whatever crazy amount. Some guys won't try to get it on a eBay form. But I'll be, with this assembly, that's 20, 30, I just call that $30 for the handle. 10, so 40, yeah. I'll still be probably, when I get the Tatula with the drag clicker, with handle assembly like this on it, with a good drag star, will probably be right around that price of what it costs new here in the States. That's what I'm thinking. And I don't even know what reel I'm going to put it on, but I'm going to get one. I want to put it up against, oh, look out. Let me put my oil up. I put a drop of oil on each bearing on one of these. Oh, this one's got just old bearings I had laying around because the thing just comes with bushings. But this one, I put the new bearings in it. And I have taken just one of the wrappings off. I want to wait and see. Maybe you guys want to witness this. So if you guys can, share this video to the real test. Because that guy, he don't know how to take this plastic off your cork. It's not supposed to be there. You guys know that? Like, that's just in, like, when it's new. You get it, you take that off, and then you get it dirty. And then the whole thing gets dirty together. Because here's a bad thing. Not only does it feel real slick and nasty, even on a rod, the handle, sometimes just from, like, moisture and dirt in the air and stuff, like, in and around that clear plastic will get in, and then it'll stain it, and then the inside will be real shiny new, and it can actually make it look, in my opinion, more awkward than if you just take it off and just go with it. Just go with it, man. You only live once. Get that cork dirty, and then you can always clean it up, do a light sand on it. I don't know if it's a quality control issue or what, but I could have swore these knobs, that was still spinning, were the exact same color in the picture I was looking at as what these knobs are. But these are definitely a little more just regular, like I wouldn't call them regular. They're more like a gunmetal, like what these are. But these are more of a very dark. And on the camera, it's hard to tell. But there's just a slight difference. And I think it's just a matter of, maybe I've had these a little while and they've got a slight fade over these being brand new. But these look more blacker, I would call them, than these. But they're supposed to be the exact same, because I think you can get these with black knobs. Or maybe that's just the way they took the pick on the ones I'd seen them. So anyway, 88 millimeter, 100 millimeter handle. They've changed. It is a slight difference in how they are. So, like, if you look at this one, see how that's well, got like this kind of ridged look to it. It's got this dimple right here. It says Gomexus down in there on one side, not the other. And then on this one, it's smooth. Different cutouts somewhat. So it's not an identical handle. It's the same thing, takes the same nuts and all that, but they've slightly changed, or the bigger ones are different than this, or this may be a new style. I'm not sure if they've... That's not even a what you call it. But anyway, these are the ones that are fairly reasonably priced. As you can see, they look very good on the reel. I think they look very good. Still not sure. I was going to just switch the caps, but you really can't, because if you look, the whole inside, that's more of a gunmetal, and then so the whole knob is the color difference. But these, when you get them, they will have bushings. If you look down here, those are the bushings that came out of it, one on each side. And you can get away just a regular Daiwa or Shimano bearing. I had to... What did I have to do? I had to do something different on... When you put them on this, if you guys remember right, when I did the unboxing, these are like Shimano, these are like Daiwa, so you have to either add another bearing or a spacer. Technically, you could leave one of the bushings and put the spacer between it, would probably do the same thing. But anyway, I plan on maybe seeing what these look like on a regular Daiwa handle assembly, maybe this one. That's probably too close. That's 88 millimeters. These are 85, I think. They're not much different. But that might be enough to where they look way too crowded. I don't think that's too crowded myself. These are roughly the same size as these are. I mean, I don't know. Comment what you guys think. Let me read some comments. Some of you are commenting. Sergio, can you send me some older fishing gear so I can get started fishing? No, thank you. Gomexus age. Actually, I thought these were Gomexus, but maybe they're not. There's a different name on there. What is that? Yeah, C3 star or something. But as you can tell, these are definitely Gomexus. Knobs fit right on it. Everything goes good. I can't remember what the packaging... Let me see. It's got all... Oh, high 10. I guess it's another one of those high 10 products that... I don't know. 4 stainless steel ball bearings. It did come with the ball bearings that I didn't use somewhere, wherever they are. So, yeah, here's the thing. I'm still trying to talk myself into which size I like, because I definitely, for swim bait, I've got a 7-foot, basically a heavy tequila baccarat, and this feels like right at home on it. It's got a little extra, it's the stoutest rod I have, and this on it feels very good. I like throwing the swim baits. I like throwing the big blade chatter bait and stuff like that. This is a awesome deal. I cannot stand the stock Daiwa knobs. Are horrible, or Shimano. Any of those stock thin. And I'll be honest, I'm not really a fan of, even though these are huge, I'm not really a fan of the paddle style, like the Luz used to be, the Stize, the old one. Not really a fan of those either. What I've really liked, and the first set I got were like these. is roughly that size. So what I did when I got some of my cork knobs that were more rounded off AliExpress, they're roughly the same. They're just slightly, I think they're slightly shorter by just a hair. Let me double check this one. I think these are all the same. No, that sucker. I think they're roughly about the exact same, but they don't come shaped like this. So I shaped them like that. And so, and then these are a little bit smaller. But so far, out of the littler ones, this one right here on this Steez, these are the most comfortable for a smaller reel. I've got them shaped just about the way I like them. They're bigger. Hang on, I'll show you. They're a little bigger than like what the Abu Garcia cork. So hopefully you can see this still on the rod. So here's the Abu Garcia MG Extreme 2. They're just a hair longer. And these feel smaller because they're, if you can make out how, that's kind of like a sharp edge. So my plan is the other, I used to have, this one's like brand new. I used to have another one when they first came out, and I smoothed those edges down. But those corks feel very good. But I kind of like that, just getting on the verge of a little bit bigger size. And so when I saw these, well, I just planned on getting a couple of these handles, and I wanted to get another set of these and get them shaped in case I ever want another swim bait reel or something. I'll have basically the other ones in. I thought, well, maybe I ought to just put them on the shorter handle, and I might try the shorter handle on this, see if I like the 88 even over the 100. You know, just try it out. It's one of those things where just in person or looking at it, you almost have to just put it on, go out on the water and use it while you're in use to see what what feels good and what doesn't. Because I'll be honest, sometimes you get in here when you're doing a little what I call bench racing. We got that from like RC back in the day. When you're doing your little bench racing and messing with stuff, something could look or feel a certain way, and you're like, oh, I hate that. I'm not gonna like that. Then you get out in the water and you're like, oh wow, I like that, the way it works. Could be whether it's a rod, a reel, a knob, a bait for that matter. You might go, somebody gives you a bait to try and you're like, that's stupid. And then you try it and you're like, oh wow, I see why that works. So I'm gonna try them out. I'm not sure what configuration. Because this feels very good too. I like that's roughly the size as of like right now. Anything other than a swim bait rod, I like roughly that size. I'm gonna see if I can make myself. I'm gonna try these now. I could also go down just a little bit. I can kind of resurface that just a little bit smaller and see if I think I would like that better. But sitting here in hand, just cranking it, I think it'll feel fine. So here, let me put it on a rod, part of a rod, half of a rod, almost half of a rod. Just sitting here. You guys remember this rod? It is definitely streamer. This part's fine. 2-piece. I broke the tip, so it's just kind of sitting around. That is my favorite reel seat to date. Like once you palm like this, like I do, that reel seat just feels excellent. But this feels excellent too. Yeah, and this thing is actually capable. That new Steez, you can throw a BFS. Maybe not a 1 gram trout magnet, but like a 1/16 ounce 2, 3, 4 gram stuff, boom, it'll fling it right out there. That was with 20-pound line. I was doing a little testing. I got 20-pound braid on it, and it was still flinging out the little crappie jig thing, just flinging it right on out like it was nothing. Maybe not as far as my other true BFS stuff, but in a pinch, you can throw some very little baits on that set, on that reel. That's the only downside. The tool I've got coming has definitely got I think it's 15 gram. This bull, I didn't take the bearing off, but it was just over 10. I think it'll be, or 11 point something. So I think it is roughly a 10-gram spool. So it's pretty much the weight of a BFS spool already. So it's got the boost. It's good to go. So let me move some stuff around. I think, let me talk about, I don't even know what I need to talk about. Some other baits. I was going to compare the baits I got coming from Tacklewarehouse to these little rattle traps. These are going to be, they're cheap enough, and if they work just anywhere near whatever, they're kind of going to be my sacrificial. You guys, if you follow the channel, you know a lot of times I talk about those cheap sacrificial baits, especially like cheap rattle traps. You're fishing in a body of water. You kind of need to know that they work well enough to get bit, but you're not afraid to lose them. You can throw them anywhere in case they get hung up and you lose them and all that stuff. Because I lose rattle traps probably more than anything. It is the best stump detector you will ever find in your life is a rattle trap. 1/2 ounce, 3/4 ounce, doesn't matter. You throw it out and real slow or not paying attention, you get down too low, it's going to find any kind of wood or whatever them trebles can stick to. That is sure going to happen. Then I was also wanting to check out these. These look, let's open one up. The Mega Bass knockoffs, the last few I've gotten are horrible. I'd have probably been way better off just to buy a couple actual Mega Bass. This looks funky. It feels... I'm going to fish it, but my expectations of this little Italian thing or whatever they are not high. Maybe it'll surprise me, but I'm going to go ahead and slowly here. Let me get some of these out of the way. Let's take a break from the reels. Let's look at some... Oh my gosh, look at this mess I got going on over here. Look at all them parts. All that stuff came with either this handle or mainly with some of it with the knobs, but then with these two handles. Let's take one of these out and look at it. So the paint is definitely better looking on this these rattle trap lipless cranks, and they're definitely a knockoff of something. Some Japanese brand, I believe I've seen that. I do kind of like that noise though. Hooks are sharp, but I've just never been a fan of those kind of hooks. They come on a lot of baits though nowadays, some of the even more. I do like the more just dark hooks for, I don't know, it could all be in my head that, like, tell me a fish can't see those, like, plain as day. Like, bro's got something hanging out his rear end, I don't want to bite him. How much are these? Let's move a little something. Let's just weigh. I don't even know how much these little suckers weigh. 14 grams. So they're, what is that? I can't, my brain's not even working. 14 grams. I think this bait's supposed to be designed to sets on bottom. Like when it comes down, it goes doink. Then you pop it and then doink, and then they'll come up and whack it, hopefully. Bait like this almost makes me wonder if you wouldn't want a little, like, even if you don't put a much, just a little some kind of little tail feather or something if you were planning on letting it. I don't know, maybe not. Let's see what this lightweight dude weighs. Get all your hooks on there. Wow. 9.5. I knew that sucker was very light. 14.1 and then 9.5. A lot lighter, and this looks way bigger, but I'm just looking at this thinking this is going to be a casting nightmare. That bait, there's like no, it doesn't feel heavy anywhere. It just feels like this very light looking thing that's probably a nightmare to cast the way this moves. So I got that the other day, and then this one came today. You got them little quiver tail things. This one I'm anxious to get out on. Well, both of them really, but mainly this one. You can tell they've got this going for them, the same kind of thing, but they're totally different. This one has no actual lip whatsoever except for this to point it in a direction, and then this one actually, and the line tie is like up high, up here on top, the snout, and this one is under and has this, and then these, and so kind of different ways of looking at it. Let's undo. And yeah, here's this. That looks so cheap. Looks cheap, feels cheap. Should see how well it burns. Just light a match and see. I'm not counting them out yet, but yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in those three. I got 3 of those. They were only like $6 for all 3, like $2 a piece. It was like $6.50 for 3 baits. So wasn't expecting much, but I'm kind of let down. This one actually looks very good. Then we're getting ready. I'm gonna mess with some reels again here shortly. I just wanted to get these out, take a little better look at it. Oh my God. Yep, I don't like that thing. I hate baits that if you can go pull them and do that, I don't like that. You're almost better off to, I mean, I'll try and cast them, but it can mess up a lot of casts a lot of times. One trick that I learned, not the hard way, but I learned it actually with that little one I called Frankenstein. I loved how big the hooks were on him, but they would stick. Like that, like almost felt like every time I cast it, and I'm like, what is going on, dude? That little thing is like driving me nuts, but I didn't want to change hooks because, man, when I got bit, like I was pulling in pretty nice fish with that. It was almost like a no-brainer. If something hit that bait, like I got the fish in kind of thing. I'm like, I don't want to downsize those hooks. So what I learned, I was like, well, it's hitting the water, and this is, splashing that, and before this one hits the water, it comes back, catches it, and then it jacks it up. I'm like, well, real simply, right before your bait's going to hit the water, stop it. Don't let it hit. When you're throwing it, put some resistance on it to where both hooks should go like this, like swinging. They should go like this, hit the water, and they're not going to tangle. And so just keep that in the back of your head. If you just come across the bait that it seems like every time you cast it, the hooks, tangle up. Some baits are just going to do that, you know what I mean? They can do that, like this one will for sure. But make that long cast, short cast, whatever, but stop it right before it hits the water. Even though you're like maybe out in the middle of nowhere and it doesn't matter if it hits the water hard or not, but stop it right as it's hitting the water, and that'll let them flop out of the way. And it works it works 100% of the time, most of the time. Oh, don't set it. Oh, that's a microfiber. All right, I'm done messing with baits. They're all just different colors, same deal. Good colors, though. I think these I'm going to have luck with. I think these are going to be baits that I find a little, I like my 3/4 ounce. Like, here's my favorite rattle trap, period. This guy right here, in that color. That's the whole reason I bought these. but they came a little brighter than I wanted. But they're not far off. But man, this is like fairly slightly stained, almost clear. This is like you need some muddy water before that's going to look like that. So I'm gonna try to fade them. But right there, that Booyah Hard Knocker, that color Toledo Gold, but the bone colored one or whatever, 3/4 ounce, that bigger one. But I'm gonna try to find when this one isn't working, maybe this little dude, or maybe this little dude's just intended to, work in different water, different way, different whatever. But these guys from cold water, ripping it off the bottom, letting it sink, just casting it out in like as a search bait. I mean, if they will just flat it. And for years, I fished just a 1/2 ounce. I never went to bigger 3/4 ounce. And they even there for a while used to be able to get a 1 ounce. But that 3/4 ounce, and maybe even bigger. But these are kind of like the old Excalibur. Some people say they're nothing like them, but I'm telling you right now, get you an old Excalibur out, go buy your Booyah Hard Knocker, and compare them. Listen to them. Everything, they're the same. They're the same thing. But that bait's awesome, and I have not yet found anything, in my opinion, that is any better or can actually match it. Now, the LV500 is a good bait, but for day in and day out, I don't think that $15 bait's as good as this $7.99 or whatever these are. I think it's about as good, but for the cost price difference and for just day in and day out, especially like summertime, like I don't know, I just like the Booyah Hard Knocker. My favorite rattle trap. I bought enough of these. They were cheap enough, and I got all the different colors that I thought would work good. We're going to give them a go this spring for sure and see what we can do. I forgot to mention, too, my plan is these Karashi Yashi things. They don't come with any tail feather. So I forgot when I was unboxing these, and my plan is I've got some of the flashing stuff. I'm going to make my own little tail. So if you guys ordered any of these, that's probably what you'd want to do. You can pick it up, go to like Bass Pro, the fly department or whatever, and you can go with, they've got different colors. Like you can look it up online. It's crazy how many different colors of that you get. But hang on, let me find mine. So like this stuff that I've had for, I don't know, I'm kind of redoing my Mega Bass Pop Max and different tails, do this, and then I actually get like the, hackle feather, different stuff. But anyway, you could put just this, and it doesn't take a lot, probably 10 to 20 strands, depending, just about twice as long as the hook shank is, kind of thing. Put it up right there, and then go another distance of the shank, just to give them something back there when you're doing it, and then when you do pause it, a little more movement, kind of like the poppers do. But that's my plan on that one. Well, I could show you on this bait. So I think this is my old original. I think this may be the very first. Oh God, I probably need to redo those. They've been in the box. This is probably my first Pop Max I've ever owned. I had two. I don't remember which one was original, but I lost one. This may be the original one. This sucker right here has caught so many fish. Doubles, big bass, just little dinks. This is the bait. When I went out one day, I started early morning and I never put this bait down. It never stopped getting bit. They were little, a couple big ones here and there, but it got a bite every 3 to 5 casts. And it was just one of those kind of days. And that sucker, I know a lot of guys were like, oh, you should put that up. I don't know. I'm like, nope, I'll just keep fishing it. Now the hooks have been changed out, I don't know how many times. And as you're looking at it going, they need changed out again. And you'd probably be right. They're still kind of sharp. I don't even know what that front hook is. I think it's a mustad. Believe it or not, it looks horrendous. It is still sharp. Like, that bait just flat out, if I take the time to throw it, I can usually catch fish on it. Now, it's not the one to catch the big ones, all the time kind of stuff, but Megabass Pop Max. If you don't own any, you should get some because I'll be honest, I probably only pop it every once in a while. I usually walk it like a walking bait. It's like it kind of ends up being a finesse walking bait, in my opinion, or a pretty big popper. And you can do both, stagger it, whatever. Awesome bait. All right, back to reels. Let's make a reel or deal. Oh, I know what I was gonna do. Hang on, let's just see what this would look like on the Poison Adrena. Because if you remember right, I went through all that trouble and I had this Poison Adrena and we had this on it. And I thought, man, that's just going to look awesome because you got a little bit of the red. We got that red in the wraps, and it's just kind of that camo red. And it does look good. But maybe since we were talking about that Booyah Hard Knocker, this Poison Adrena is my favorite rod to throw that and some other crank kind of things. Like this is excellent for, you can even like some of the bigger jerk baits. The 611 medium plus is just all around. It's a little stouter, stiffer than like a 610 X Pride that everybody uses for jerk baits, but for a Vision 110 or bigger, it's like excellent, probably just as good if not better. But then for bigger, a little bit bigger, more powerful stuff, chatterbait, spinnerbaits. But I feel spinnerbaits, you need something a little stiffer. A lot of guys for some reason don't feel that way, but man, spinnerbaits, that's a big hook and you can kind of hammer it. So, but I think that let me see. This is a very lightweight. Yeah, this would look and work fine. So I may try that too on that one. I may try that right there on the Poison Adrena, but I'm going to have it on this reel, the 7-to-1. Slow down a little bit. So I may do some reconfiguring, but I'm going to try the other, I think, on the Tatula when it comes in. Should I hold these reels up side by side so you could see I think I was holding all the different handles, but I don't know if I ever held these two side by side so you guys could kind of see. The knobs are about the same size. The little shorter handle, it's really kind of hard to tell. If you can see how that is right there. See how that reel fits all the way inside on this one. So weight-wise, let's weigh the ones. I don't know if I ever did weigh the 100 millimeter one. It's definitely heavier. Oh, I did weigh. So I weighed this. I don't remember the weights, but I want to say this one configured like this weighs 15 grams more than this. So like a half ounce almost. Yeah, 21, and I think, well, we'll weigh this one just to see. It can't be that far off. But these caps are definitely, I think, heavier than these caps, and the wood and the cork is about the same. But just so you'll know, see what that one weighs. Yeah, 34. So 34 roughly, and this nut's going to be a little more than what this nut's going to be. So 20 nut, 20 point, almost 21, 34. So that's like, it's really only, I'm going to call that 21. It's pretty close. What was this? Whoa. 34.4. So 13, well, you call it, well, 15 probably time you get the cap or whatever, the nut to tighten it on. So yeah, about 15 grams to go to this power handle over a stock, which is a pretty light. These are pretty light. It's 85 millimeter, very lightweight deal. So just for instance, let's see. Because this would be, yeah, no, those are just stuck on. I fooled you guys. This is the standard, what comes on the Zillion. We're going to put it with those, what we had on. Yeah, see, we're already up there in weight. We would still need 2 of these and roughly the caps. So really, it's not that much compared to what, you know, these are crazy lightweight. So it's not that much more than if you've already got something like I do with, say, where's it at? This guy right here. Because that is also a lightweight handle, but then when you add them different, a little bit bigger knobs, you definitely add weight. So yeah, 24. What was this, 34? So, I mean, you probably aren't even going to feel that. I don't think I can really, like, I don't feel like, you know, oh, I can feel it weighing it down. I don't know if you guys remember, right, one of the first BFS reels out on AliExpress had that aluminum handle. That thing, like, that reel was so light, plastic, and then the handle was like all metal. You could like let go of it in your hand. See how that just kind of, it doesn't topple over, and that would like, it would fall. You could feel how much heavier it was on that lopsided like. So I don't know. I don't think I want to keep you guys any longer than I have to. I'm going to probably, I'll be honest, what I want to do is take these back off and go ahead and get them sanded down. I don't think I'm going to like that. I'm debating if I want to try to just wait and get it out on the water and fish it and see what that feels like. I just know that right here, that feels way better. It's just where mainly right here, like you just, and you grab, put your thumb down. It just feels more at home like that. You know, just enough where you get on the kind of flat part and you've got a hold of that, like it's not coming out of your hand kind of deal when you're cranking. To where this, I guess it does, but I feel like you've got to get in there tighter, and then it feels like you got all this gunk in your, so it makes this knob feel like way bigger feeling, and I don't have any more of a grip on it than with that. And I think it just looks, you know, you guys could comment, let me know what you think. I think it just looks better when they're trimmed down a little bit. I mean, I could have went just even a little more if I'd wanted to, but I just did one until it felt good, and then I took my calipers and just kind of measured, went down with the other one until it was roughly the same measurement, and that's good. Because it is more, this handle assembly is also closer to that. I mean, technically I could bring these down until it just smoothed that out. I don't know if I can't tell if I'm going to like that stuff being cut out or not. Can I send you my reels next? Nope, sorry, I don't work on anybody else's stuff. I don't sell my the most common question, I know you guys didn't ask, but I'm just going to tell you. And no, I don't have any spinning reel. I did away with spinning reels. I jumped into BFS strictly way back in the day to get away from spinning reels. I'm like, man, I only forever, this is going to sound dumb. If I couldn't throw it with the regular bait caster, I just didn't fish it. I had a couple crappie rod and reel setups with, you know, spinning small stuff. So I could throw crappie jigs and like that, technically what a lot of guys are considering, you know, the micro or ultralight BFS type stuff nowadays. But I had a crappie rod and reel, was actually very nice. 5'6" was my favorite. Kind of almost an ultralight, but a little stiffer and a little softer in the tip. With the quantum energy, the one that was white, the energy 5, I think came with 5 bearings. There was like I don't know, the number was based on how many bearings they had in the 5 was the white one. Man, that energy reel had the counter thing on the handle. I just love that reel. That tells you how long ago it was. And I had the full cork handle with the 2 sliding things. What brand was that rod? It wasn't a Loomis. I always wanted, oh man, they had a Loomis at Rogers actually when they were at the warehouse. I was always going to buy that G Loomis rod, which was roughly the same size as the rod I had for crappie. But then I just got tired of spinning reels. Man, I've tried several different spinning reels over the years. Now, get this. This is going to blow your guys' mind since, especially those of you that know the channel, that I fish everything braid to a leader. I have never in my life put braid on a spinning reel and used it. When I use spinning reels, we just put whatever fishing line people would recommend. You know what I mean? We had some different ones, but honestly, Strand, clear blue fluorescent, and then I forget the fluorocarbon at the time. And that's probably why I hated spinning so much, because regular line on a spinning reel, like I could not go out and fish for an hour without getting a wind knot that I have to stop and try to untie. And then any time that I used fluorocarbon, I would waste, like if I got a wind knot, it kinked it and it weakened it and it was done. It was junk. So that's one of the reasons. But with the spinning, I can never cast a spinning reel without, I felt like I had to look down, make sure I didn't have any like loop starting to uncoil. So I had to stop, reel in your whatever. And I actually, even back then, I cast right-handed and I switched because I'd switched my handle around so I could reel with my right hand. That's just the way I've always done it from Zebco 33 days. So I felt like I'd have to, grab the line, flip the bail, cast. As I was switching hand, like stop, flip the bail, and make sure the thing's tight, and then start reeling like every cast in order to feel safe that I wasn't going to waste my fluorocarbon line. And just after fishing that way, it was okay, like for crappie or just out in the middle of nowhere fishing certain small bass lures. But when you're going on a bank working and stuff, like it's just night and day difference between bait casters and because when you're fishing with the bait caster, you never even look at your reel. You're hitting this bank. You're casting. You're switching hands. You're just, the feel it. You know where you're at on it. And as long as you've got them set right, you can go 40 minutes zoned in, hitting little spots, trying and never even look down at your reel. The only time you look down, like you just set it down, you grab another one or something like that. And just night and day difference for me. Switching to all bait casters. So once I first come across it, it was either on Tackle Tour, Bass Boat Central. There was a couple other just forums, different places. And we started, seeing those guys talking about the BFS or the lightweight spools. They really wasn't calling it BFS back in the day. Were they just calling them shallow spools? I forget. But anyway, I got into, the freaking spools back in the day, the Kosuji spool or whatever I got for an alphas. Man, you're talking anywhere from really cheap. If you could find a $150 spool, you were like getting a bargain from somebody, but they were like way over 100, 150, 200. Like they were crazy priced spools that you could just stick in, other ones, a Vail. Oh, I forget all the different names, but the Kosuji spool I got that I think I still technically, it's around. I think Emily's got it in a reel that she's got. If you remember Emily, she's fished on the channel before. Then I forget I don't even know. It's been so long ago. What the first actual reel I bought was, came with a BFS spool. Because I bought the Mega Bass Zonda Rosa, but it didn't come with the BFS spool. It was very finessey reel, but I think then I bought a spool, a hedgehog out of the hedgehog from a guy because he bought some other aftermarket one. So I had this solid. It was very lightweight, but it was solid back then. They didn't really make them wiffle style too much at all. They were just making them out of. A lot of guys claim they're magnesium, and oh shoot, I forget who was it ZPI? No, I don't know. There was like, I think it was a Vail, had the crazy cut up so much, or like I don't even know how the thing stays together. But then there was always the brand out forever that made just different niche spools that they were solid, but they were, I think, instead of being aluminum, they were magnesium, so they were even lighter or something. And they were definitely awesome spools, but that was for before all the boost kind of stuff. And then, so once I got a couple reels with the capability and I could throw any of the little stuff, yeah, there was never even a thought. Like if I'm going to go crappie fishing, I'm using bait casters. I'm using BFF. There's no BFS. There's no reason to ever get a spinning reel, rod, any of that for me. And on top of it, trying to store or carry spinning combos is a nightmare in my opinion too, because I remember that when I had a couple different. I had my crappie one, and I think I had two other ones. But like you take, I don't know, just how far out and how far the handles stick out and the knobs, like they just take up so much room anywhere you're putting them. Like now, I fish with shorter rods. I try to stay under 7 foot. Bait casters have always more of a compact, like you can just you put them on, one of these rod sleeves, and then I put this sock material, slap them on top. Just grab that. It's just an inside out sock cut up. Slide that over your reel. You can just grab them all in a bundle kind of thing and carry them around. They don't take up a ton of space, and I don't know. It's just a whole night day. Way easier for me to deal with bait casters. But I don't sell anything. I don't work on reels. I probably should. But I've had my most asked question, and I'm trying to find something. Hang on. I'm stalling you guys. Is what kind of handle is that? Where can I get one? And my answer is always single lifestyle handle, and you can't because I make them and I don't make them for anybody else, and I don't sell them. Now, some of you guys ended up with some. Charles has some. I think Brew Tank may have. But if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, that right here, that's not a redneck. This baby right there, that is the shortest one I've ever made, and it is crazy. I want to say it's only what would be equivalent to maybe 70 or so millimeter handle, and it's just a thing. But you don't actually need both sides to fish. Now, when you make them this little, there's no worry of the bail engaging while you're trying to cast. But if you extend this out too far, or you have too much weight here, and you have this up in here somewhere, and you push the button and you go to cast hard, just that act can make that engage, and you can strip gears. It's notoriously can happen. My son was horrible about doing that on reels that I've never had it happen to, and he would have it do it to him. But the older Daiwas are also notorious for having a very soft and easy to disengage, engage clutch system, and they were also more prone. But that is a single lifestyle, and I get the most questions on like, oh my God, where can I get one? Well, nobody makes them. I have that one. I have this one that I never ended up finally putting on. It's been on a bunch of different reels over the years. It was originally, it's a little thicker than the normal Abu, or normal Abu. The normal die was, this came off the 80, was an 80 millimeter off a T3 Air. So it had the red, and the T3 Air was the only one that they, I believe, put this, that size thickness. And it needs like totally, it's been beat up and banged up. And actually though, if you sand it back down and then polish it up and then put a knob on it, it still looks very good. It's been thrown around for probably 2 years or better. And this one's probably coming off. I don't know what it's going to go on, but that's the old Lingle, the Joker I call him, since I changed him around. But yeah, that whole combo right here, well, until I started monkeying with it, you can still get these Lingle. You can't get this exact, like the Shimano copied brakes, but you can still get this shaped reel for like $70 off AliExpress. You can get this rod I think they still. I don't think you can get the quick anymore. They're still there, but they're always shown that they're out of stock. But you can get the next stiffest one to this, or the 7.3 medium heavy for like 127 bucks. But these are awesome rods. So let me show you this little thing. So you can go out fishing, and you can do this kind of power knob, or you can do this kind of power knob. There is a difference, a little bit. This is a power knob in BFS. This is a power knob in swim bait. And actually, this looks pretty good on this little dude with one of those little shims. Calcutta Conquest BFS. I think I had it on there at one time because all you got to have is one of these little shims and goes right on. No problemo. So, I don't even know what time it is. I probably ought to get off here. I'm sure UPS never did come. Anyway, I got a lot of sorting out to do. I still got to check on. I got the other one setting out back, just propped up to where the sun can hit this way, and then I'm gonna look at it, and then if it is started to fade at all, then I'm gonna flip it and let it set the other one for however many days. But I haven't looked at it since I put it out there. It's probably 3 days ago. I don't know. I'll look at it sometime this week. If it looks like the sun's done anything to it, I'll flip it around the other way. Trying to get them fade. I don't want them near as bright looking as they are. And before I get out of here, I talked about these in several videos, but this video I haven't. These are the DRT Working Class Zero knobs. These are definitely an alternative to that if you're wanting something to kind of have the same feel. Now I don't even know, I've never actually fished with the DRT and all that kind of stuff, but I know these will fit right on. What did I do with that other handle? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. I weighed it, and then we moved it, and then what do we do with it? I don't know. Anyway, these will fit right on the, there it is. Oh my God, I'm staring right at it. These will fit right on basically the stuff that these are on. So when you buy a lot of these, they come, on here, and they're not glued. China has for years, decades, had a shortage on glue, I guess, super glue, because they don't glue anything hardly, which is actually good for us because you don't need to glue them because they actually fit so tight. You can just pull those off, and if you get a set of these, you can pop them right on, and they will stay. Now, if you were nervous, you could put just a touch, just like a barely little touch of super glue to where you could get them off later on at some point. But they're on there. Now, then you got a problem with the cap issue. Like, that looks kind of, janky or whatever. It's going to fish. Like, you're still going to be able to go out and fish. And, yes, you could put these onto something that big because these are compatible if you wanted to track down. It would take a couple things to buy to get it to where, I'm going to lose my little spacers. These things can come in handy. And it came with a bunch of extra ones. But so if a guy was looking to try those, you just bound determined you wanted a set of those, and I still think don't go to eBay. eBay, you got to watch out. eBay's tricky. You'll go there, and there'll be stores on eBay or guys trying to sell these new or used and wanting a crazy fortune. Go to, I want to say DRT USA or whatever, and a lot of times these are just in stock, and they're like $29.99, I think, for a pair. Is all I gave for these, I think. But anyway, check there first. But however, you have to track them down if you just have to have a pair of these. But the cheapest way would be go to work around that system and get put them on something like this on the AliExpress knobs on whatever handle assembly you want, whether it be one of these from AliExpress or whatever. If you just bound determined you want a pair of these. I don't even know what I'm going to do with these yet. I've yet to actually go out and fish with them on a reel and just try them. I don't think I don't think I don't think I would like them. I mean, I should probably go out and just try it and fish them and see, but I don't think I'd like them as good as what I do these. I think this actually looks better, feels, I just like that feel. And I don't think I'd like it as well as these either. There's a bad bearing in there. Probably one in there too. But yeah, I've got all my old bearings. I just pulled some bearings out. I probably need to get a cleaner and clean all of my old bearings and then do like a race test and see if any of, what ones that make any kind of noise, throw them out. Probably just order. Bearings are not that expensive. Just non-ceramic bearings aren't really. I end up with, I just have so many of them that instead of throwing them out, because it doesn't really matter on the handle. That feels like way smooth compared to, bushings. So yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. Just over an hour. I would like to thank everybody that's watching, all 13 of you. Lucky number 13. I guess Brew Tank never did. Let me double check. Go back and look through the things. Brew Tank is sleeping. He never did come in. Like I said, stay tuned. Subscribe if you haven't already. I got some more of the bigger, I don't even remember which exact brands. I got rattle traps coming from Tacklewarehouse. One different new style I'd never seen. I want to say I got another LV500 coming in the Pro Bone Blue. I hate to spend $15, but man, that Pro Bone Blue and that the Mega Bass Vision 110 Plus 1 Junior in that color that come Elegy Bone. Man, those colors, they're fish catchers. Those colors, and when they're painted onto good baits, are very good. This is not. This is probably not a fish catcher. I mean, any bait can and probably will catch a fish eventually. I don't see that jumping out and going on a tear anytime soon. But I'll just fish him to see how. I like this color. I didn't like how this bait felt though. The minute I saw it and looked at it, how winky and wonky that is. That is a horrible attempt at a knockoff, in my opinion. But we'll try it. We'll give her a shot. This is the one. Oh, I don't even think you guys saw this one. Not in this video. This is the one that kind of let me down. This thing looks cool. I know it looks like a baseball, like part of a baseball, or like something went on, something went wrong. I love the bone color of this thing. It's in person it looks better. It's kind of a, I don't know. I like that color. I'm going to try it, but I think I'm going to glue this bill in because this comes with this bill that just pops out like way too easy. So I know me, I would go out there, I'd catch a fish, and the fish would shake, and that's going to go flying. So unless I could figure a way to hold that in better, I would be better off to just glue it. Because it also comes wherever I put it. I mean, I guess I could, I don't know. I feel like I need to just glue it in as solid as I can get it. Oh, it comes with this one. That, yeah, because you wouldn't want to put it this way. I don't think it goes that way. So either like this, or I think maybe it goes like this. Maybe it's designed to go, I think it's like that, and so then it makes it do all kinds of crazy walking. And I need to look this bait up and see which one it is, see if there's any videos out on it. But I originally got it. I never even knew it had that ability. I saw it in the picture, and it was only like $3. And I saw that color, and I was like, oh, that's cool. A little, some kind of crankbait, swim baity something. Now, I think this is an exact copy of some other bait. But I'm going to try it, probably just like that, like I mentioned, probably just glue it on. And just put a drop, just enough to where then if I'm like, oh God, that swims horribly, I may go ahead and then try to turn into some sort of top water thing to just, get my $3 back out of it. So yeah, I forgot about that one over there. All right, guys, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Sorry that Tackle Warehouse, actually UPS, let us down. Yeah, I know. Listen, you ought to see when I try to put out a very short and quick video. It's like a half hour. But when I jump on here to talk and I got a little fireball going, that's just a little nightcap, fireball nightcap early on. And no, that's just the first and only drink I'm gonna have tonight. I take one shot of Fireball in my Diet Coke, and just a little kind of simmers me down some nights. On a Monday night, just after the Chiefs won, need a little calm, a little relaxing. But I'm seriously gone this time. I got a lot of stuff to get maneuvered and moved around and cleaned out. So thanks for watching, guys. Seriously, I appreciate it. Like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends, your enemies. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, Trump supporter, you got TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. That's fine. Wherever. Just share the channel. See you later.